Hello. Today I'm going to demonstrate how to add students to Google Classroom. From my Google Classroom homepage, I'm going to choose the class that I want to add students to. So for this demonstration, I will use this copied class. And there are three main ways that I can add students. The first is that I could give the students a class code. They type it in, which would then connect to your classroom. Your class code is always on the stream. If I click the display box, it'll make it full screen. And then what the students would do from their homepage, they would click this plus sign, and they only have the option to join a class. And they would type the class code right in the middle of the menu. The second and third methods both have the teacher add the students. And the first way that the teacher can add students is to go to the People tab at the top of the class. And then at the top of the student menu, click the little person with the plus sign. And if student accounts are already connected to Google, as soon as you type student names in, their email pops up, and then you can just click. And that would automatically put a link to your Google Classroom on their Google Classroom homepage, and all they would have to do is click join. Now, at the top of this menu, I also see an invite link. So I could copy and paste this link into another platform that the students have access to, like Clever or like a Google Doc, and then they could click and get into the classroom. I also have this new import from SIS button at the top of this menu. If I am already using a student information system that is supported by Google, like ClassLink or PowerSchool, Google will automatically grab those names from the SIS and load them into Google Classroom. So I'm going to go ahead and click this button. And it's going to give me a menu of all of my classes currently in my PowerSchool account. And I would just select that class. Now, I can only do this on a one-to-one basis. So I can only connect one class from my SIS to one class in Google Classroom. So if I have multiple classes in my student information system, I would have to have multiple Google Classrooms for those to connect. Once I find the class I want to connect to this Google Classroom, I'm just going to click on it and say link. And now I have all of those students in my invite menu. I just click invite. And again, they get that join button on their Google Classroom homepage. I can also access that SIS button from my settings menu. So if I open my settings, here I have SIS integration. So I'm going to go ahead and unlink mine. And now you can see, now it says link. I can also grab that invitation URL from my settings as well as my class code. One final note on the People tab. When I open the People tab, I do have my Teachers menu at the top. This would be if I want to invite any other teachers to be co-teachers in my Google Classroom. Be careful, do not mix that up with your student menu, because when I click the invite teacher, I can still enter and it will pull up student emails. I can still click that import button. And if I do that, if I invite them as teachers, then I'm going to have some conflict. They'll get a different setting in their homepage and it will try to invite them as a teacher. And that's a mess you don't need to clean up. So be very careful. Make sure when you are adding students, you are doing it from the invite students button.